You have the floor, sir. Thank you, sir. I should like to start by addressing the question of human rights culture. The Education Ministry has developed a new school subject dealing with citizenship. And this is something which is taught as of primary school and in through secondary education. This is a subject which deals with everything to do with human rights and democracy. This subject explains the contents of the relevant international human rights conventions in a way which is easy to grasp, in particular the rights of the child, rights of women, and the contents of all relevant international documents. This subject also has practical sessions where these concepts are implemented so that schools provide this information not only theoretically but also on a practical basis. The Education Ministry has also developed human rights subjects in all school curricula. And when it comes to schools and future high schools, here, this is a matter which we have been looking into since 2006. It is a project which we applied in secondary schools initially and will then be applied elsewhere throughout the school system, including elementary schools and supplementary schools. This program will put us in a position to provide high-quality education in order to ensure that the upcoming generation is able to enjoy the use of new technologies. We have also made sure that our schools are connected up with the internet and have appropriate computer equipment at their disposal. And we have made sure that staff are appropriately trained to implement this project. We have trained 10,000 teachers to teach this subject. Thank you, sir. Next statement, addressing the question of migrant workers. There is a significant number of migrant workers in Bahrain pursuant to short-term contracts. And in this context, I'd like to mention the legislation which is designed to deal with any conflicts which might arise from the implementation of these contracts. The method used is arbitration, irrespective of the sex of the person involved. We have also set up a hotline to deal with problems faced by migrant workers, and in particular domestic workers. In addition, we have ongoing inspections of offices and employment agencies in connection with migrant workers. And here, clearly established contracts are used. These are short-term contracts or limited-term contracts in which the salaries of the migrant workers are clearly set. The relevant legislation also means that migrant workers can become union members without any kind of condition. In addition, there is a law dealing with unemployment, which means that unemployment benefits are available if migrant workers lose their jobs. And this law is applicable to migrant workers as well as every other worker, as I suggested. Thank you. Next statement. Thank you, President. I should like to answer one of the questions put this morning In particular, the question of the equality of men and women. And here I'd like to state that we are seeking to amend our legislation. We do this on an ongoing basis, in particular when it comes to legislation dealing with the rights of women. There are texts that are constantly being updated to put an end to any discrimination against women. In addition, new laws are being promulgated to promote the interests of women. I'm thinking of women who are retired women or women who decide to stay at home in order to bring up their children. This is part of a framework to protect women in general. In addition, laws have been enacted to ensure maternity leave. The point of this is to enhance the integration of women in society and to allow women to stay at home if they so wish, that is, to bring up their children themselves at home. In addition, an initiative to amend the state budget, the regular state budget, has been taken in order to enshrine values promoted by the United Nations. The aim here is to ensure the promotion of the equality between men and women. In this context,